Or maybe you buy a pair of Venetian Rococo-style, polychrome decorated figural floor torchairs. Who knows? That's part of the many things that are going to be on the auction table at Bonhams and Butterfields. Cindy Dole. This is Home Wizards, and we're talking about the good stuff with one of my favorite places, Bonhams and Butterfields. If you haven't been there yet, it's just a cool thing because you can get smart on the antiques that you may have, that you've inherited or you've just acquired and you collect and so forth. And Andrew Jones knows all about it, especially when it comes to fine European furniture and decorative arts. So again, thanks for being here, Andrew, and help us, first of all, how to just become a smart collector if we had $1 million.
Well, I think that rule number one is buy what you like.
Buy what you like.
Start off with a modest budget and a modest collection and build forward from there. I think too many people have turned around with spare cash and have invested in what's fashionable but not what they like. And when the fashion turns, they end up with something that is not worth what they paid for it, and it's something they actually don't like. Rule number one, buy what you like.
Yeah. And also, I guess maybe buy just selective things. I mean, you worry about people like Debbie Reynolds. I mean, you're just buried in all of your stuff, even if it is great stuff, but then you have no room.
Well, I think, it's always on a size and a budget, and I think you're absolutely right. It's really a case of if you can be more selective. And most collectors, they'll start off, and they may buy a piece of broken porcelain from their desired factory of choice. And in a few years' time, the perfect example of that model comes up, and they will buy that and sell the broken piece, because a lot of people build up on an academic collection. So it really depends on where your tastes lie. But rule number one is, buy what you like, but do as much research on that particular item as you can.
And then where to buy? I mean, one wonders, should we go to garage sales and estate sales, and maybe even eBay, and find those things, and then we go, wow, well, maybe it's worth more. We're going to take it over to Bonhams and Butterfields.
There we are. I mean, there's so many ways of buying today, both on the internet and you mentioned the garage sales, and we've seen some amazing finds that people have picked up in garage sales in Los Angeles. So it does happen. But at the end of the day, we're there once a month to be able to point you in the right directions of what the item is actually worth.
Yeah, and so in terms of having our homework done and knowing if what we are about to purchase or what we have already inherited or bought in the past and collected is of worth, there's some great books and great websites you recommend?
Well, yes. I mean, reference books are out there. I mean, the older the reference book, quite honestly, probably the less useful it's going to be because a lot of attributions change over the course of their lifetime. So one thing you should be looking at is speaking to somebody regarding your particular subject matter and what is the best reference book of today. Mm-hmm. So if you look at a book of glassware of 1920, it probably has a lot of errors in it today.
Mm-hmm. And through the years, I mean, I guess there must have been so many things that you have appraised, and there you see it at the auction, and you wish, boy, I wish I could buy that.
Well, trust me, when you work for one of the biggest auction houses in the world, your tastes soon outweigh your pocket.
Yeah.
but it's nice to handle it anyway.
Yeah, take a picture of yourself with it.
On many occasions.
That would pretty much be within my budget, I'm thinking. And what's one of the most, the wackiest, bizarre thing you've ever seen that's tied to your period and that's gone up for auction and someone spent just beaucoup bucks on it?
Well, interestingly, I mean, we've sold some pretty strange things in our time. But next Monday's sale has one of the most unusual pieces. I sold one in the mid-'80s in London, and I haven't seen one since. And it's a half-size model of a horse, but it's an anatomical model. So basically, built in 1880 by a guy called Jérôme Mauzoux, and it was for veterinary students. So the whole thing is a skinned horse. You can see the bones, the ligaments, and then you start to dismantle it, and it shows the internal organs. Just a very rare thing, but one of the most unusual things that I've handled since I've been here in California.
I guess that definitely would be a conversation piece. Maybe for someone's office. I can't imagine that in my living room.
Well, I guess if you're, an equestrian person,
yeah. I mean, the horse is beautiful.
Polo, yeah, absolutely. Or indeed, you're a vet. what better to have as a showpiece in your house or your office?
Gotta have it. All right, so once again, the auction, for those of you who are interested in seeing and maybe touching and perhaps even buying some of these goodies from Debbie Reynolds' Hollywood Memorabilia Collection and then some, it's coming up Monday, September 13th. What's the time frame, Andrew?
Okay, the sale starts at 10 a.m. The preview is the Friday, Saturday, and Sunday previous between 12 noon and 5 p.m. Full color illustrated catalogs available from our office, or you can view the catalog online at www.bonhams.com. And that's
B as in boy, ONHAMS. So,
got it.
And I'm looking at this catalog, and this really, I mean, these are too pretty to throw away. I mean, it's stunning.
The catalogs themselves are little works of art.
Yeah, maybe I'm going to have to sell my catalog to somebody. No, I'm just kidding. Thank you, Andrew. You have a great weekend. Have a great Labor Day relaxation, and would love to talk to you again in the future. All right. Well, coming up next, I got some great little last-minute summer projects for you because, as they say, this can't be the end of summer, really. I'm not giving up on it. This is Home Wizards. I'm Cindy Dole. Don't go away because I like having you here. We're back after this.